Hello and welcome to Rockstar Manager. I'm Dr. K, the management professor, and this episode is about setting up a meeting agenda. At the very end, I'll show you a template. First, please subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscribe button down below, and also hit the notifications button so you'll see each time I post a new video. Every meeting should have an agenda. Otherwise, some attendees may ask why they're there, what you're going to talk about, or others might try to take control of the meeting. You want to facilitate a meeting that stays focused and accomplishes one or multiple goals. It should start and end on time so you are respectful of everyone else's time. If it's a mandatory meeting, that needs to be made clear up front and to all participants. It would be helpful if you could set up a read receipt on the emailed meeting request to ensure everyone read the email. If you need to set up a regularly scheduled meeting, you may want to ask what day is preferred and if there is a specific week to meet for monthly meetings, such as the third Tuesday of each month, or if you meet every Wednesday at 3 p.m. So let's get into setting up a meeting. On the agenda, you should list each invited participant at the top with a box next to his or her name. The attendees will be marked off when they attend, and you'll have a roll call at your fingertips. And a quick tip is to list those names in alphabetical order to find them quickly. Those who decline in advance should receive a D in that box. Next, what's the purpose of the meeting? What are the overarching goals? If there were action items from the prior meeting, they need to be discussed up front and with the appropriate owner. If you need to put a time limit on each of the updates, do so. The person giving the update can provide a detailed documentation so they can share the summarized update up front. To create new items on the agenda, walk through the goal of the meeting and list each of the steps. Who will own each step, list any dependencies, come up with reasonable deadlines, and what the expectation is by the next meeting. And at the end, do a quick roundtable for all participants to bring something new to the table or add anything that could have been missed in prior discussions. If there are items people need to bring or prepare prior to the meeting, you want to send the meeting agenda with enough time in advance, identifying who needs to bring what. For example, you can lay out the agenda and put bullets under each of the agenda items, identifying the owner, what the goal is of the agenda item, and what the next step is, so you have it already in place. If you're working on your annual business expense review, you can task Mia with bringing the expense report, broken out by vendor, amount, date, etc., for the team to review. Sending the agenda allows everyone a chance to adequately prepare for the meeting, so you need a good facilitator to run the meeting effectively and efficiently. If you have a recurring meeting with everyone giving updates, I suggest you format it like an Agile Daily stand-up, and I have other videos on this channel that walk you through what that process is. Lastly, use your agenda as a basis for the meeting minutes. This is your opportunity to capture who is doing what, when they will do it, and what specifically needs to be accomplished. This is then distributed to all participants after the meeting, and I always include the roster of who attended and who didn't. If you need help with facilitating and taking notes, you can ask your colleague. Ask Lucy if she can take notes. Then the two of you can organize thoughts afterwards and distribute impressive meeting minutes. I have a graphic at the end that may help you visualize the agenda layout. Hopefully you have a better understanding of how to set up a meeting agenda and the value it brings to organizations and projects. If you're interested in learning more about related managerial topics, you can find my book, Rockstar Manager, From Theory to Practice at Barnes & Noble. Thank you for your time. Be your best you and be a rockstar manager. At the top of the page, be sure to title the agenda with the name of the project or the name of the committee as appropriate. If you want a formal agenda, you can add this next section. Here, you can list the purpose of the meeting, which can even be titled the name of your committee's monthly meeting. List the date, who is running the meeting. If you have a contact person running the admin stuff for you, indicate their name. The physical location, if the meeting is in person. Then provide a conference number or video link as necessary. The next section lists the name of all participants invited to the meeting. When each participant attends, you mark them off as attended. If someone declines in advance, put a D next to that participant's name. This agenda can be populated during the meeting and turned into minutes, which will also include participant attendance. I try to include an obvious spot on the agenda so everyone knows when the next meeting is. In regards to the content of the agenda, each of the topics are listed with the option to go into details. Any action items that are carried over from the prior meeting that need to be addressed should be updated by the person assigned to the task. Then, other topics can be addressed. Each topic will have an owner, due date, action item, and any other pertinent information should be documented. Be sure to include a roundtable discussion so everyone will have the opportunity to talk, as appropriate, of course. And this last section helps when it is set up prior to the meeting so the person taking notes can easily identify the owner, action item, and due date.